Mrs. Bobby O'Rourke answered the $16,000 question. She's back to tell us whether she'll take her 16 or leave it and try for $32,000 on her march to the $64,000 question. And last week, jet pilot on Sherlock Holmes, Captain Thomas O'Rourke, answered the $16,000 question. Tonight, he's back to tell us whether he'll take his 16 or leave it and try for $32,000 on his march to the $64,000 question. Revlon, the greatest name in cosmetics, presents the 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. Yes, the $64,000 question.
If it's the finest of its kind in cosmetics, it's by Revlon. And later on in our show, we promise you an exciting new Revlon shade preview of the look that rocks the Riviera.
And now, the star of our show, where knowledge is king and the reward king size, Hal March.
Good evening, everyone. It's a very exciting evening here that we anticipate. It's our first anniversary on the air. Glad that you could join us. Let's get the show started. Bill, who is Revlon's first guest?
Well, Hal, our first guest is our first $64,000 winner, Captain Richard McCutcheon.
Good evening, Hal.
Welcome to the show, Dick.
Thank you, Hal.
Before we begin, I think it's only fair to tell you that regardless of what happens, you go away here without a quarter tonight, okay?
Okay.
You win nothing tonight.
All righty.
Dick, you put on a little weight, haven't you?
Yes, I have, Hal, and you have also, I think.
Well, I'd like to believe that's not true, but if it is, I got married. What's your excuse?
I've stayed off of quiz shows.
Rich, do you want to explain why you happen to be here?
Yes, Hal, I came up here to help you celebrate the program's first anniversary.
Well, that's wonderful. I think it's very, very nice of you to do that. Did you whip up a cake for the occasion?
No, I don't bake so well, but someone else did, and it's right over here.
Come on out with this thing. Thank you. Joyce Brothers, Billy Pearson. There's $256,000 represented here.
There was.
Well, yeah, Dick says there was. Well, it's wonderful to have you here. Oh, who's gonna blow out the candle in there? Gloria Lockerman is here. Gloria, come on out and blow out the candle. That's for later, honey. You can't. We're not gonna have that now. Okay. Can you make that? Good. I know what you wished, but you can't come back on this show, Gloria. Who's going to cut the first slice? Dick?
I will, Hal, if you'll allow me to.
Oh. Careful. Oh, boy. Put an H on that. I'll have that after the show. Don't take it out now, Dick. Okay? That's wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, if we'll all see each other after the show. Incidentally, after the show, the body of the show, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to meet again a great number of the people who were big winners in our show, so by all means, stick around. It's going to be wonderful seeing them all again. And Dick, Gloria, Billy, Joyce, and Mike will see you all after the show, too, okay? Thanks very much for bringing this cake out, Gloria. Bill, who is Revlon's next guest for real?
Well, Hal, back to the fourth week on her climb to the $64,000 question is our Air Force wife from Fairborn, Ohio, whose category is Sherlock Holmes, Mrs. Bobby O'Rourke.
It must be true what they say, Bobby, because you look just beautiful. You're getting prettier every week.
You know what my father would say?
What?
You've been kissing the Blarney Stone.
Tastes good. Tastes good. Bobby, how did you and your husband, Tom, develop such a tremendous interest in Sherlock Holmes, such a great knowledge of it?
Well, I really don't know. I started reading Sherlock when I was about 10, and I think Tom started when he was about 12, and since we've been married, well, anything he wants to do, well, I want to do, too.
Well, is that how you grew so close together? Your common interest in crime?
Nothing quite that sinister, I hope. No, I think the thing that first interested me in Tom was the fact that he didn't pay the slightest bit of attention to me.
Were you still wearing braces on your teeth or something?
No, the typical Air Force tactics. Just act indifferent and never commit yourself.
And the enemy will walk all over you. Doesn't work. It might have worked in your case. Anyway, we're going to find out what your decision is in just a moment, Bobby. But right now, I'd like to say this to you ladies. Don't say that I didn't warn you. So go, Rick, get ready, get set, because here comes Evelyn Patrick to take you out of this world and into a sensational new world of color. Evelyn?
Won't you come with me through this flowering orchard of beauty to welcome the exciting birth of a fabulous new color, a fantastic color like nothing ever known before. It's the lighter, brighter look in a lipstick and nail enamel that's pure allure for you. Revlon's Snow Peach.
Snow peach, snow peach, snow peach.
Snow Peach, the color, the girl. Both spirited right out of the Revlon ad in the current Vogue. Here's the look that rocked the Riviera. Snow Peach. A peach with a pink complexion cooling its blushes in the snow. As featured on the cover of Vogue, here's Snow Peach come to life. Look how Snow Peach goes to her head with Mr. John's velvet bow topping. How Seal Chapman frames our Snow Peach princess in snow white file. And to add new summer brilliance, Vogue's choice for matching lips and fingertips. Snow Peach. A warm, delicious color flirting with cool, cool frost.
Snow peach, snow peach, snow peach.
Here is seen again and again in the pages of Vogue, sun-ripened, snow-dazzled Snow Peach lends its peach blush flattery to any frock you choose. Delicious with everything you wear, everywhere you go. Snow Peach, a soft, rosy peach with no more yellow in it than the sun provides. Terrific with your summer tan, makes your pale complexion look like peaches and cream.
Snow peach, snow peach, snow peach.
Snow Peach, a peach with a pink complexion cooling its blushes in the snow, puts its brilliant glint on you wherever you go. Yes, whether you tan to a golden brown or stay really fair, Revlon puts beauty within your reach with never before Snow Peach.
Snow peach.
Snow Peach. It's hot, it's cold, it's beautiful, it's bold. This powerhouse peach will make your summer. Girls, if I might suggest, you better reach for Snow Peach lipstick and matching nail enamel tomorrow. It's Revlon's greatest shade. Thank you. I'm kind of sorry that production, that wasn't a commercial. That was a Ziegfeld musical comedy. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
It should have been in color.
Yeah, it really was beautiful. Well, Bobby, I don't know why we're wasting time here when there's $32,000 involved. Let's state the facts. You now have $16,000, and you're going to tell us tonight whether you're going to take it or leave it and try it for $32,000. Have you arrived at a decision?
Well, Hal, my decision is the same as it was last week. Tom and I decided that whoever came out first would try.
Uh-huh.
And then if I lose, well, we'll stop. And if I don't lose, well, we won't stop.
What you're saying is that right now
I
you're
will
going to
go.
go ahead for $32,000. Well, Bobby, if you're ready, so are we. Lynn, would you escort Bobby into the booth for the question, please? Okay, Bobby?
Fine.
Comfortable?
A little warm.
Well, let's hope that you're not in there too long. You ready for the question?
Yes.
May I have it, please? Thanks, Ken. Bobby, as you remember, I'll read the question once. I won't repeat it. You'll then have 30 seconds to determine your answer, okay? Here we are in the category of Sherlock Holmes. Concealment of identity under an alias is a feature of many of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. For example, Hugh Boone, the beggar, proved to be the respectable Mr. Neville St. Clair in the case of the man with the twisted lip. For $32,000, I will give you 7 names. You give me the title of the story and give another name by which this character was ever known. Here are the names. First, Waldron. Next, Senora Victor Durando. Third, Henry Peters. Then, Jack McMurdo. Next, James Winter. Sixth, Vandeleur, the schoolmaster. And finally, James Armitage. You have 30 seconds to think over your answer. Good luck, Bobby. That's a nice thing to see. You're a little confident. Okay, here we go. The first name and the title and another name by which this character was ever known. First, Waldron.
Waldron was Roger Prescott in The Adventure of the Three Garradets.
That's correct. The second, Senora Victor Durando.
Senora Victor Durando was alias Miss Burnett in The Adventure of the Wisteria Lodge.
That's correct. Third, Henry Peters.
Henry Peters was also known as Holy Peters and Dr. Schlesinger in The Disappearance of Lady Frances Carfax.
That's correct. Fourth, Jack McMurdo.
Jack McMurdo was known as John Douglas, and he was also known as Bertie Edwards in The Valley of Fear.
That's correct. Next, James Winter.
James Winter is alias Killer Evans, alias John Garradeb, alias Moorcroft in The Adventure of the Three Garradets.
That's correct. Sixth, Vandeleur, the schoolmaster.
Vandeleur was John Stapleton, and he was also known as Roger Baskerville in The Hound of the Baskervilles.
That's correct. One more and finally now for $32,000. The name is James Armitage.
James Armitage was J.P. Trevor in The Gloria Scott.
That's correct for $32,000. Oh, that's wonderful. You kind of felt a little confident there when I finished reading the 7th name, huh?
Well, I was pretty sure that I knew them, but then I thought, well, I can't go blank now.
We'd have waited until Thursday if you did. I'd have just stood there and waited. Well, I guess I know now what Captain is going to do, huh? Anyway, Bobby, you've just won $32,000. Your next question, as you know, is worth $64,000. We want you to go home for a week.
I need it.
Take over to your station, come back next week and tell us whether you're going to take the 32. If you decide to go for 64 next week, if you can find one who knows a little bit more than you, you're entitled to have in the booth with you another expert in the field of Sherlock Holmes, okay?
Thank you, Hal.
Congratulations on tonight, Bobby. We'll see you next week. Bill, as if I don't know, who is Revlon's next guest?
Well, Hal, back for the third week on his climb at the $64,000 question is our jet pilot from Fairborn, Ohio, whose category is Sherlock Holmes, Captain Thomas O'Rourke.
What do you think about your wife just winning $32,000?
I'm a hog about that woman.
What part of the country?
Terrific.
Is that a colloquialism of some part of the country?
Well, if it is, I'm going to blame it on Texas.
Well, that's good enough.
Okay.
Talking about, I'd like to get back to what Bobby was talking about before. Tell me more about this Air Force approach to girls.
Hal, that's not an Air Force approach to girls. That's just a simple technique handed down from man
bachelor to bachelor.
Bachelor to bachelor. No sweat.
And this is what exactly is this basic concept of?
Well, we never, it's the same deal that you probably use. We never commit ourselves until we're sure. Right?
I imagine that's what I did, yeah.
You know that's what you did.
Well, how soon after you met Bobby did you commit yourself?
Well, I was very sure the next day, so I committed myself then.
Well, that's giving it enough time. Well, how did you manage to sweep a girl off her feet in 24 hours?
Well, it wasn't very easy, Hal. I had to shoot about, I guess I had to shoot down about 23 Texans to get to her. But after that, it was no problem.
Sheriff, here's your man. 23 Texans you had to knock out. Well, that's what... Tom, we're going to get to your decision in just a moment. But right now, here's a question I have for you ladies. What will they think of next? Here's Evelyn Patrick to tell you about a combination they did think of next. Snow Peach and Futurama.
Yes, girls, for color that puts a new light on your lips that is pure allure, you'll want Revlon shade of Snow Peach lipstick. And of course, you'll want it in a glamorous Futurama like this. The engraved white enamel case is just perfect for any fashion and bound to give you that feeling of elegance every woman wants. With Futurama within easy reach, you're at your best. But the marvelous part about this stunning Futurama is it looks expensive, but it's not. And remember, with Futurama, you're getting a permanent case because all you need ever buy again is a Revlon refill that clicks in and out as easily as this. That means a saving of 35 cents on every single lipstick you buy. So girls, when you say the light, bright shade that's bound to give you a look of summer brilliance, say Snow Peach in a Futurama.
That's right, girls. Give yourself a gift of a Snow Peach and a Futurama tomorrow. And folks, remember, Futurama is the perfect gift for graduations, bridesmaids, birthdays, and anniversary. Really nearly anything. Thank you. Try it. Tom, as I indicated before, I have a feeling about what you're going to do, what with $32,000 in the family coffers up till now, but I think I'd better ask you, just for the sake of the record, have you arrived at a decision as to whether you're going to keep the $16,000 you now have or leave it and try for $32,000?
I'm going to go for 32, Hal.
That's short and sweet, $32,000. Tom, if you're ready to get into as Captain McCutcheon once phrased it, the pressure cooker, so are we. Lynn, would you escort the captain in, please? You okay, Tom?
Yes, sir, I am, and Captain McCutcheon was right.
Okay. May I have a question, please? I'll ask the question once as you remember, Tom, and I won't repeat it. You'll then have 30 seconds to think it over. Is this... Oh, well, $32,000. Concealment of identity under an alias is a feature of many of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. For example, Black Jack of Ballarat was the assumed name of John Turner in the Boscombe Valley mystery. For $32,000, I will give you 7 names. You give me the title of the story and give another name by which this character was ever known. Okay? Here are the names. First, Arthur Harry Pinner. Next, Sutton. Third, Mrs. Norlett. Then, Don Juan Murillo. Next, Hosmer Angel. Sixth, Sergius, the nihilist. I guess that's the correct pronunciation. Nihilist. Thank you. If you can ever tell me anything, feel free. The 7th part of this question, finally, is Mr. Cornelius. You have 30 seconds to determine your answer. Good luck, Tom. Okay, Tom, I want the title of the story and another name by which this character was ever known. First, Arthur Harry Pinner.
That is, Beddington. You got the story now?
Yes.
Beddington in the Stockbroker's Clerk.
That's correct. Next, Sutton.
Sutton is Blessington in the Adventure of the Resident Patient.
That's correct. Third, Mrs. Norlett.
Mrs. Norlett is Carrie Evans in Adventure of Shuscombe Place.
That's correct. Fourth, Don Juan Murillo.
Don Juan Murillo is the Tiger San Pedro, alias Henderson, and later on in the story that they call him the Marquis of Montalba.
And the story?
The story is Adventure of Wisteria Lodge.
That's correct. Fifth, Hosmer Angel.
Hosmer Angel is James Windybank in the case of identity.
That's correct. Sixth, Sergius the Nihilist.
This is warm. Sergius is Professor Coram in the Golden Pince-Nez.
That's correct. One more now for $32,000, Tom. The name is Mr. Cornelius.
Mr. Cornelius is Jonas Oldacre in The Adventure of the Norwood Builder.
You're right for $32,000. Funny thing.
Who had the hardest question?
This is the richest family on the block, you know, right? A funny thing happened as after I asked the question and stepped aside for Tom to think, I looked over at Bobby, who was standing over there, and I went like this. And she did this.
You better have known it.
It's a pretty wonderful feeling so far, okay?
Yeah,
if you have nothing better to do, can you be back next week and tell us if you'll take the $32,000 or leave it and try for $64?
We will have nothing better to do.
Okay, Tom. Thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you next week. Bill, who is Revlon's next guest?
Well, Hal, our next guest on the golden threshold of the $64,000 question is from Thule, Greenland, Peter Freuchen.
Good evening, Peter.
Good
Welcome
evening.
back
Good
to the
evening.
show.
Good evening.
You're looking very chipper tonight.
Yes, a little warm.
It is a little warm here, isn't it? Peter, do you mind if I make a personal observation about you?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, with your beard and the salty air about you, did anyone ever tell you resembled Captain Ahab and Moby Dick?
No, sir. But by the way, I heard they made a movie of it, and Gregory Peck is playing it. It's very flattering. I'm very comfortable.
Well, I meant
Thank
it
you.
that way.
Thank
I
you.
meant it.
Thank you. That's all right. That's fine.
Under the beard, I imagine you do look a little like Gregory Peck. You're both tall.
Well,
Have you ever gone whale hunting, Peter?
But that's my trade. Sure I have, yes.
Yeah.
But not like the Captain Ahab did. I'm just whaling up in Greenland, and we don't go for sperm whales there. We just go for right whales, blue whales, narrow whales, white whales, and the kind that's up there, you see.
Well, how do you go about hunting a whale?
Well, you see, the modern ways of whaling is to have a gun in the bow on the boat, but I'm going the old way, you know, using the hand harpoon.
I was just about to ask you how you do it. You do it all.
Yes, with your hand, you have the line on this side, you know, and throw it out there and hit the whale.
What does the whale do?
He goes down to the bottom and stay there for an hour or two if he can, and he's scared, you know.
I imagine he is a little scared, yeah.
Yes.
Well, does he ever come up?
Sure, he has to go up and get air again, and then he gets the second harpoon. And
you hit him again when he comes up?
Yes,
huh?
he's pretty sick, you know, when he's been down there for a long time. And then he gets the third harpoon, and we keep on until we get him.
You can keep him. You're entitled to it, after all. How many whales do you think you harpooned in your life?
Well, 20, 30, I don't count them, you know. We just cut them up and get the blubber.
Well, that's a lot of blubber, 30 whales.
Sure.
Okay. Well, Peter, let's get on with the game because
Okay,
I'm sure you're interested in winning a little money here. Last week we ran out of time just after you answered the $512 question. Now it's time to step over to the area of Mr. Fike and answer the $1,000 question,
Yes,
okay?
fine.
Would you follow me, Peter, please?
You, yes.
In the category of 7 C's, which covers many things, your question for $1,000. You ready for it?
Yes.
Here we go. This question is on maritime geography, Peter. For $1,000, what islands owned by the United States are the preserve and breeding ground for the largest herds of fur seals?
Oh, that's the Pueblo Islands up at close to Alaska.
You're right. Just a far at the south. could have told me they were in Wyoming. It wouldn't have made any difference. Your next question's worth $2,000. Do you feel like
Good.
going for it?
Sure, sure.
All right, Peter, here it is. $2,000 question deals with oceanography and wind flow.
Okay.
For $2,000, tell me first, in what direction does the upper current flow through the Strait of Gibraltar? Second, in what direction does the monsoon blow from April to October? First, in what direction does the upper current flow through the Strait of
The
Gibraltar?
upper current from blue flow to the east from Atlantic Sea in the middle.
That's correct.
Mediterranean.
Second, in what direction does the monsoon blow from April to October?
From April to October, it blows from southwest to northeast.
That's correct for $2,000. With each question, Peter's getting a little wider smile. Your next question's worth $4,000.
Fine, go on.
All right, for $4,000. I'm sorry, it takes a little time to get them out of the envelope. All right, for $4,000, your question is on exploring. For $4,000, tell me these three things. First, what Portuguese navigator discovered the sea route to India and later died while Viceroy of India at Cochin? Next, well, let's take that if you want to answer that.
Well, that was Fernando, Vasco da Gama.
That's correct.
The name. Died 1521.
That's not necessary.
Oh,
I didn't even know he was sick, to be honest with you. The next part of this question, what American sea captain first sighted Antarctica?
Oh, that was Captain Palmer from Stonington.
That's correct. Third, for $4,000, what is the full name and nationality of the man for whom the Barents Sea is named? That's B-A-R-E-N-T-S-C.
That was the Dutch Captain Willem Barents.
That's right, for $4,000.
And complete the next procedure.
Okay,
Well, that's
then.
all right, fine.
You
thank
just picked up $4,000. You're having a lot of fun? Peter,
Sure,
thanks for being
sure.
with us. We'll see you next week, okay? Good night, Peter. You know, ladies, no matter how often you use a greasy cream or scrub your face with soap, if you'll forgive my saying this, you still leave some dirt behind. So I'd suggest getting your skin thoroughly clean with
Clean and clear, clean and clear, clean and clear.
Any soap, any cream, any lotion cleanser can get your skin clean on the surface. But Clean and Clear is the only cationic cleanser. Cationic. That means it can reach deep down to attract makeup and grime from 5 cell layers of your skin. Ordinary cleansers reach only the top cell layer, but Clean and Clear reaches 5. Lifts out makeup and grime that other cleansers leave behind. Remember, dirt-free skin is healthy skin, and your skin looks its beautiful best when it's
Clean and clear.
good idea is to try Clean and Clear yourself tomorrow. You'll say, my face never felt so clean, my skin never looked so clear. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we close tonight, I'd like you now to once again look at some pretty wonderful people who have accumulated quite a fortune over the past year. I won't bother, there are too many of them to say hello to individually, so what do you say I walk by them and a just general congratulations and we'll share the year. Here they are. Here are some of the people. Ethne.
Transportation is arranged by American Airlines, who will fly contestants in luxurious comfort aboard DC-7 flagships.